And we look to lights, the chaos of the super sprint. We're back for the sprint here in Baku. It's Captain Stardust off your pole. It's Wex alongside him. Hudman stalled on the grid. He's going to go plummeting down before they get to turn 1. But it's Wex that gets the line. Stardust going to try and get the switch back before they get to turn 2. There's chaos in the midfield. It's the McLaren of Hudman once again in the wall. Negotiating through turn 2. It's Wex that leads. Stardust down to P2. PS Bomber is up to P3. Motley's down to P4. Jaden's had a great start in P5. Travis is now down the inside of EXO for P6. As everyone negotiates the first few corners, as there's an Alpine that makes a mistake. That was Bio. No, it was Docs, beg your pardon, that made the mistake. As Bio escorts, as there's a Red Bull now spun around in the midfield. It's Jordan once again, and he's down to the back of the grid. Through the castle section for the first time in this sprint. We have a Ferrari and an Alfa Romeo side by side. They bump wheels and Motley's in the wall. He's now got his teammate around the outside. Nexo's in the barriers. The Alfa Romeos collide once again. And we're under yellow. And EXO is in the barrier at the castle section of turn 10. And he's down now in P17. We saw them collide in Austria on that final lap, which saw Motley spin round. And it's now EXO on the worst side of it. And we're still under virtual safety car now. But it's Wex that will lead this opening lap. Stardust nearly 1 second behind. Bomber up to P3. Travis up to P4. Jaden P5. Motley P6. Bio's up to P7 after starting down in P16. Hudman, after stalling on the grid and hitting the wall at turn 1, is down in P8. Sparks P9. Exonics rounds out your 10. We've got 16 laps remaining in this sprint. It's an 18-lap race. Fire Strike is sped under the virtual safety car, and he will have a drive-through penalty, which he serves now. But we're back under green. Hudman's defending to the inside with Bio. And the Alpine just hasn't got the exit there into turn 2. Everyone slowly spread out under that virtual safety car. As we see, EXO also entered the pit lane after damaging his front wing, after crashing into the barriers. He's lucky to still be in this Grand Prix. And we have another yellow flag. It's Fire Strike down the escape road. He's alongside Jordan as well. As they charge their way up to turn 3 as EXO's just in the background as he exits the pit lane. Spicy has also been involved in an incident after damaging his front wing, and sadly he hasn't gotten it fixed during that pit stop, so he's going to have to manage it possibly to the end if he can get those mediums another 16 laps. Down the escape road once again with that damaged front wing at turn 2. But Wex, he's got a 1.3 second gap. He goes purple to the second sector. He'll set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the second lap as Motley's now made a mistake and he's down in the wall at turn 15. The Alfa Romeos, after putting on a great effort through that super sprint, are now out of the points here in the sprint, and both are going to have to enter the pit lane. And we're back under virtual safety car. Motley down in P12. See if someone dived down his inside or he possibly missed his braking marker. Still don't see anyone into the pit lane, so they don't believe. The best strategy is now as Motley crashes into the pit lane. He's out of the sprint. He couldn't negotiate it with the damaged front wing and he's out, and he will not gain any more points tonight. That is not how he would have wanted to finish his sprint round here in Baku. We'll see when we go green, but Bio's now sped under virtual safety car himself. So he's got to drive through. Travis times it perfectly. He's down the inside of Bomber, and he's back on the podium. Jaden up to P5. Bio behind him now with the drive-through, which he'll have to serve. He's got Sparks in P7. There's Travis now scampering away from the Williams in P4 and looking to close in on Stardust in P2. 17 runners left in this Grand Prix. We're on the third lap here in Azerbaijan, and it's Wex with a 2-second lead out front. It's his race to lose at the moment. But we've seen the chaos so far tonight. Anyone can win this sprint. Hudman now gets his 3-second time penalty for corner cutting and track extending. He's down in P9 after his horror start, but he's in this battle pack. So he must have cut at turn 15 as we're side by side onto the main straight. Sparks concedes and he's lost all the speed onto the main straight, and Hudman will be down his inside. No DRS yet. We should go open on the next lap, and they're in the wall. That's a massive crash on the main straight involving Bio and Hudman. They're both out of this sprint. From top 10 positions, that was absolutely catastrophic on the main straight. They hit the inside barrier. And we're under safety car for the second time tonight, and the third safety car of this race, with 2 virtual safety cars in the opening 3 laps. And we'll see if anyone decides to pit now. As Wex enters the pit lane, he will put the medium tyres on. Travis also does in P3. He nearly collides with the McLaren. He doesn't speed into the pit lane, but he's gained major time there in the pits. He'll put on the hard tyre, and we'll see what the 2 up front can do. Dox has sped into the pit lane. No, in fact, he's crashed with Lindsay into the pit lane. They've both got 5-second penalties coming in to change their tyres as Zappa stayed out. That's a bold strategy from the second Ferrari. But the top 2 are now on the mediums. Travis is on the hards. He's going to have a grip disadvantage for the rest of the race, but towards the end, he might have some extra speed. Jaden has gone the softs. That's an even bolder call. I don't think they can make it to the end. Zappa, we didn't see pit, so he will have to pit later in this Grand Prix. He's currently on the mediums. Sparks on the hards. Doc's on the hards as well. So everyone that was on the hards would have started on the mediums, and everyone that's on the mediums would have started on the softs. He's got the whole main straight to do, and he goes now. He goes earlier than we saw before, and he'll have a comfortable lead into turn 1. The McLaren behind can't slipstream. No one can overtake before they get to the line. And it's Wex that holds on. And everyone clean behind him. As we see yellow flag, so it wasn't clean. Sparks, we were saying it was Aston Martin's to hold on to. He's down in P15 now. He was left with nowhere to go. Down the escape road. And we've got battle packs down in the midfield. Everyone's now, after all that chaos, a little spread out. But where will Exonics look for a move into turn 1? He chooses the outside. We see a battle pack up ahead as well. Jaden's been swamped. Travis with the double overtake into P3. The Ferrari now down the inside of the Williams. He gets Bomber. Can he get it on exit to get the Mercedes? There's no DRS yet. We have to wait another lap. Spicy enters the pit lane. He grabs a penalty. That won't help his race. But it's Travis that holds on to P3 at the moment. Jaden's stuck in P4. Bomber up to P5. Exonics in P6. Just over 10 laps remaining here in Baku. Wex has a 2.5 second lead over Stardust, but Travis is closing in here on the McLaren ahead. Spicy down the escape road. We'll have to count by the end of the night how many it's been for the AlphaTauri driver. It's only a matter of time before this Mercedes of Travis overtakes the McLaren of Stardust, but can he do it cleanly? Through turn 16. Exit is vital. He'll get the slipstream. How much ERS will he decide to use? For P2 in this sprint, he doesn't need any DRS. He'll go down the inside, side by side to commence the 9th lap of this sprint. The DRS is now enabled. And Travis, can he close in for the race lead? But Stardust gets the exit. Will he look down the inside? He'll get the DRS for the next straightaway as they just pass the detection point. Travis has got a good exit on those hard tyres. McLaren isn't going to be close enough. And Spicy's out of the session. Will we see any safety car or not? He's crashed between turn 13, 14 and 15. We're halfway through this sprint. Wax has a 3-second lead now. Exonics up to P4. Jaden down to P5. And himself and Bomber must have collided in the midfield with the Williams down in P8 now. So they've... As the Alpine and the Aston Martin bump wheels through the middle sector. They got Zappa closing in. Zappa looks to the inside, now to the outside before they get to the castle section on docks. And the Aston Martin hits the wall. The Alpine collides behind him. Zappa's just avoided it. So Sparks makes a mistake. Through these next few corners without hitting the barriers. He must have front wing damage. As Zappa sends it down the inside, he's in the barriers. That was a adventurous overtake into turn 15, and it didn't work out. And he's hit the barriers. He's going to have front wing damage. And Stocks had to avoid him. And Jaden enters the pit lane. And it must be to change that front wing. He's actually retired. We saw this last time out in Austria. So he's collided with Bomber and he's out of the session. But as we get to the final few corners, Wex, the Aston Martin team, he's gotten podiums throughout. There's been chaos left, right and centre. Rounds the final corners. He'll charge to the start-finish line. He will win his first OF1C race here tonight for the Aston Martin team. Take 16 valuable points and finish this Grand Prix in spectacular fashion. 0.3 of a second over Travis. So Travis closed in on those final laps and he nearly won his first OF1C race. Stardust gets P3, Exonics into P4, Jordan up into P5, and it's Sparks in P7, Exo into P8, and it'll be Docs and Zappa rounding out your top 10.